What's good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another News Essence video that I have here for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the debacle that is Dissidia Final Fantasy NT for the PlayStation 4. That game has severely undersold, and I think Square Enix owes their investors an apology after what they've done with that game. We also have some information on the new update for Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. That is out now with the Balloon World, in addition to a brand new game that essentially fuses F-Zero and Splatoon. It's actually looking pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to first start off with Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. The NPD results did come out. I actually released a video talking about how the Nintendo Switch was the #1 console sold in terms of volume for the US. But then we also got some positioning charts for video games, and of course Monster Hunter World was #1, Dragon Ball FighterZ was #2. Really good to see some Japanese games at the top of the US NPD, so that was awesome to see. However, all the way at the bottom at number 19, being outsold by, I think, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. That might have been a typo. I think they might have meant Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, but either way, being outsold by Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 or 2 was Dissidia Final Fantasy NT for the PlayStation 4. And there's been numerous reasons why people have been letting me know, like, why they think the game failed. The arcade beta didn't go so well in Japan. There were some issues with the single player in terms of how the game was being played or how you play the game. And I've played it a little bit, and I think that in terms of the combat wise, like, it actually did a pretty good job of capturing what the older titles did. However, like, I think that the biggest problem with this game is that Dissidia Final Fantasy was always a game that you can take anywhere that you want. Dissidia Final Fantasy, the first two games on PSP, which I did play the first game on the PSP quite a bit, and I played the second one just a little bit, not as much as the first one, but those games are always playing local multiplayer with your buddy right then and there, going through with an amazing single player campaign, even though, yes, you're not going to get the type of quality in terms of single player that you got with, like, let's say a normal Final Fantasy or something like that. It still had a great single player, still had local multiplayer to where you can play with your buddy right there with two PSPs. The fact that they just tried to super time skip Shippuden this all the way from PSP to PS4 and not even give a crap at all about the fans who love the franchise and want that great single player content and want to be able to take this style of game anywhere that they want was probably their biggest mistake, because the budget that they were probably given or they gave was not equivalent to the PlayStation 4 and what people expect when it comes to certain things. And the PlayStation 4 fans, they didn't play the PSP games. I don't think that they did. I don't think most of the people who are looking forward to playing games on the PS4 is like, okay, great, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. I remember playing that game back on the PSP back in the day. I just don't think that was the case here. So you have two systems that you could have brought this game to, which was the Nintendo Switch in addition to the PS Vita. I think that would have been a much better option. Now, I understand they planned this, however many years ago, but Square Enix knew good and well about the Nintendo Switch back then. They could have started on the port, and I don't talk about this for every single developer. There are developers who really didn't know about the Switch and they had issues and they had to wait, but Square Enix is one of the early developers to get on the Switch, so I honestly feel that there should have been a Switch port that was made even back then. Now, what we do know, or at least what I think we know, is that Sony has a deal with them, so they made a deal in order to make it on the PlayStation 4, but sometimes you don't always have to accept every single deal or any time that they throw money at you, especially when you're completely abandoning the base that built up this franchise. In terms of Final Fantasy Dissidia or Dissidia Final Fantasy, there was a dedicated portable base that built this franchise up that likes to play the games like that. Square Enix obviously owes their investors. They owe their investors an apology for that, because I think that by doing that, by accepting that money, if that was the case, because I think that there was a deal, if they did that, then they owe their investors an apology for crashing this franchise. Because if you're not going to give them the budget to make a certain style of game how it was made before, and you can't play that game on the go anymore, you have to do whatever you can do to make the game the best possible game that you can make. And that's clearly not the case here. There were numerous complaints in terms of what people thought about the game, the structure, the flow, the single player. There were just problems across the board. Now, with the budget that they were probably given, if you put it on different systems, you probably could have developed more content instead of worrying so much about graphics and some of the other things that PlayStation 4 in terms of what people want to see on that system. So I just feel that it was a mistake They probably should have made it on the PS Vita and the Nintendo Switch, kept it to where portable fans can play the game, and I honestly feel it would have done a lot better, because selling underneath Xenoverse, I mean, that is absolutely insane. Now, of course, there was a tough month, right, guys? January was very tough for different games. You had Dragon Ball FighterZ, you had Monster Hunter, of course there were other titles as well, but at the same time, that doesn't excuse the type of failure that Dissidia Final Fantasy NT had on the PlayStation 4. But like I said before, man, like doing the Shippuden type of deal to where you time skip literally from the PSP, we're talking about a system that was made back in like 2004, you time skip all the way to the PlayStation 4, that was just not a good idea. I think all the original fans of Dissidia were like, what? We don't get to play our games portable anymore? So I mean, that's the one thing, like I didn't buy the game on the PS4. I was like, no way I'm buying this at this point, because I don't support necessarily that decision to not put it on at least Vita. I mean, I'd like to play that type of game, you know, at least portably. So I think they should have at least had it on PS4 and also on Vita. There should have been both, but yeah, it was essentially a mistake. Shoutouts to Monster Hunter World in addition to Dragon Ball FighterZ for charting so high in the US NPD. Both of those games are selling absolutely amazing. They've been doing really well, even on the individual charts. It's #1 Xbox One and on PS4 individual charts for the NPD. So that's great to see Monster Hunter get a lot more love here in the US. So what do you guys think about Dissidia Final Fantasy NT? They need to apologize to their investors, and I think going forward, I don't feel that this should be the death of the franchise. I honestly feel that they should just reevaluate what they want to do, and the next time that they make a game, make sure it has the full single player content in there. Make sure it has the same type of things that people loved about the first two, you know, the ones that actually birthed this franchise and the people who actually supported it. Make sure they have a way to play that, at least in the terms of how they like to play Dissidia Final Fantasy. So Nintendo Switch, and heck, even PS Vita. I think Nintendo Switch and PS Vita for the next game, you don't have to have a crazy budget for this style of game. You don't have to worry about all this other arcade betas, which was just so weird in my opinion. I don't know why it needs arcade beta. Like the other games didn't have arcade betas, but anyway, that's what Square Enix decided to do. You don't need to force feed everything down PlayStation 4 users' throats, especially when they already have a ton of games to play. So in my opinion, I think going forward, they should definitely look at PS Vita and Switch for the next one, because I don't want this franchise to die. I don't think it needs to go away, but at the same time, like they need to make sure that they make the necessary adjustments to actually speak to the fan base and the people who want to play the game. So what do you guys think about Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, in addition to Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball FighterZ doing really well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the next article here, Super Mario Odyssey version 1.2.0 update is now available, and it adds Balloon World and a new snapshot filter. There's more to do in Super Mario Odyssey. Shout out to Nintendo for continuing to support the game. So Nintendo has released a version 1.2.0 update for Super Mario Odyssey, which adds a brand new Balloon World minigame, new snapshot filters, and more. So let's go over some of the changes here. So after completing the game, a new mini game of Balloon World will now be available. You can talk to Luigi in any of the kingdoms to start playing. After completing the game, a number of special outfits will be added to the shop. A number of new filters have also been added to the snapshot mode. Jump rope challenge has been adjusted, so there will be a speed change after reaching 110 jumps. World rankings and friend rankings have been reset for Jump Rope Challenge. However, best records will not be reset, and they fixed a number of issues to improve the gameplay experience, many type of bugs and things like that. So it's great to see that Super Mario Odyssey is continuing to be updated. This is easily the Nintendo Switch's, like, I think, biggest success so far in terms of volume of games has been Super Mario Odyssey and the amount of time. This game has sold over 9 million units from October, the end of October when it launched, to the end of December. It sold 9 million units, which is just absolutely insane. Like, even for Mario, that is just really, really good, and I'm really happy about that. At the pace that it's selling, it's going to pass up Galaxy 1 in no time, which is just insane because that was on the Wii, and the Wii obviously is Nintendo's best-selling home console of all time. So it's great to see Super Mario Odyssey doing so well. This balloon minigame might pull me back in. I've got a lot of games on my plate, so I might have to check it out, maybe upload some footage to the channel. So what do you guys think about the Super Mario Odyssey Balloon World update? Have any of you guys tried it out yet? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final article here, we have a brand new game announcement called Trailblazers, and yo, this game is like F-Zero and Splatoon if they had a baby. This is exactly what it would look like, and it's a co-op racer as well, and it's coming to the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So let's go ahead and get into this article here. So Rising Star Games and independent developer Supergonk, which is formed of veterans from studios such as Codemasters, Bizarre Creations, and Lionhead, have announced Trailblazers, a new co-op arcade racing game coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, Mac, and Linux. And here's an overview of the game because I think this is pretty cool. So Trailblazers is a fresh new cooperative racing title with an innovative on-track game mechanic. Paint the track, boost on your color, and work as a team to win. Take control of high-speed racers in unique 3 versus 3 team races across a series of colorful circuits. Paint the track as you race, capturing key areas to dynamically change the racing line, then boost on your team's color to dominate the race. Here are some of the features of the game: a true cooperative team racing with a brand new, never before seen core mechanic, which I think that they're actually right about that. I've never seen this core mechanic for a racing game. Exciting high-speed circuit racing with second-to-second strategy that is new to the genre. Play online, either solo or together with split-screen buddies. Painting features. In Trailblazers, you don't just take the racing line, you make it. Work with your teammates to paint the track surface, capturing the fastest straights and the most technical corners for your team. Join your trails together over multiple laps to make a perfectly connected line around the track, and paint over your opponent's color to deny them the race. They also gave racing tips, gameplay features. There's just a lot of stuff, some developer info as well, so you guys can check out the link in the description below. It would take me a while to go over everything, but it's quite obvious that they've been working on this for a while. There was no release date that they gave for this at this point. From what I can see here, it looks like it's going to be maybe a 2018 title. But either way, it's looking pretty cool. And really, it's a true co-op game. It's not just, okay, you guys are on 2 teams, and then whoever finishes more, you guys get points. It's like you really have to work together with your teammates in order to take advantage of those boostings, because one person is going and the next person has to come behind them, and then that person's still going. So you guys can infinitely kind of weave between each other in terms of boosting and using that. But then you can also have one person maybe go off and try to steal the other person's type of paint. So this is really cool. And yes, it does look like if F-Zero had a baby with Splatoon, using painting and then also using the high speed of F-Zero and the type of futuristic look on the tracks in order to make a game. And I think that this is a completely unique concept, taking 2 different genres or taking 2 different ideas and mashing them together, because you can't sit here and say that they didn't think about Splatoon, and obviously this is coming to Nintendo Switch. And some of these guys are from Codemasters, so you know they have racing experience, so it's really cool for them to kind of come together and make this style of game. The graphics right now are looking amazing. It's coming to literally every single platform, so that's awesome to see, and I can't wait to see more of this game and even test it out. We just need to know when it's coming. But what do you guys think about Trailblazers for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and everything else? Does this game look pretty cool to you guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page. Consider supporting PlayerEssence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emails via YouTube sponsorship. We also have a Twitch page where we're trying to get to 1,000 followers. We're really close, and once we do, we'll have an exclusive live stream and also a bonus giveaway. So check out our Twitch page, link in the description below as well. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you for the next video. Peace.